Hello and welcome to Where's Here the Nationalsozialism. Today I walk with you the way from the justice, the prison, the justice, and to the memorial museum. And we are here in Germany, the place where millions of Jewish people had been killed by the Germans, the Nazis. And I do a video channel. It is a free speech channel, so some topics might be influenced by emotions, or it's only my view on the situation, and some things are facts, and it is for interested people. And here I walk alone, and here the Holocaust crimes had been judged. And but today the law situation is tricky and concerning, and news like that the Society of Jewish People in Germany would prefer to leave Germany because of violence, hatred and racism is a statement. And I made experiences like that too, and it is really disgusting because it reminds you that when you are alone with the Germans, you could be killed, and without the foreigners, without the rescue armies from abroad, they never would have stopped. They would have eaten humans, they would have killed the rest, and this is really disgusting. And today, to find a proof that we now are better, that they learned from history, is a really rare thing. And that is so disgusting and so poor. And this is what we have for our justice courts. So big building, but the sense isn't that glorious, I think. That is what we have. But the clue, the sense to have a good justice and to have high recommended justice is, in the opinion of foreigners and people with mixed nations, not good. One problem is, for example, that most of the employers of justice are truly Germans, which means that you are Nazi descendant, and the doors are more closed than you ever might thought when you have a mixed nations rooted history. You are definitely depressed. So it's not true that you are living here in equality and have an equal right. That is not true. And the disgusting thing is that within any kind of contact, you need to face that it is the same problem. When you are alone with Germans, you cannot reach a full satisfaction of life or any kind of justice or peace. It is always the same disgusting economic killing and disgusting. So this is what we have in Germany for doing justice. So it is really strong and good building, but what is they are doing there, I don't think it's good. Another problem, for example, is when you want to give a voting on Google for the work of the justice, it is not respected. They don't respect the free speech of the people if they like it or they don't like it. And up to now, I would say that the German justices could close and need to be rebuilt and recovered because of lack of employees. They work with less employees, too less employees, and the opinion of the folk, of the people, is very bad. They even need to, or they do like that, they better their voting with denying the votes of the people. And I think the true opinion is that it's really bad. So this is what we have, enormous building. But what they do, I don't know. I think it's not really fair. So it's a long way, and any time, so a long time ago, here came foreigners, and the foreigners were the people who started to judge the crimes of Holocaust. Nobody else did. Not the people of Nürnberg, not the Germans, not the Nazis. Nobody was tough enough. Nobody was doing the work. Here came foreigners and were doing that. So it's a long way, a big building. Big building. And this is really some kind of poverty and really only disgusting. Because now today, when you have a topic and you're really out of luck and you are a single case that you need to discuss with that Germans about the Holocaust facts, you are a single. And they fool you, they trick you, they lie to you, and they gamble on you in each possible way. And this is unforgivable. So what kind of big buildings we have? This is all we have just to do justice. It is very big and very precious buildings, but what they give to us the people is very poor quality. You cannot imagine. It's unforgivable. So I walk with you a long way. So here is even a place to look for, and here some tourists from abroad, from China, from Russia, everywhere from the world are coming people to look. So how it acted, where the monsters had been judged. They killed millions. They ruined, for example, nobility system in Germany. They had done ugliest things you ever can imagine, and here they become judged. So in my bag there's a building, and foreigners come here and watch, and this is all we have for doing justice, but what we get is a bad quality. And I can give you one example, and it truly happened, and you cannot imagine. This is why I do my channel, of course. It is because of the living situation. It becomes worse and worse in Germany, and this is something that is not my opinion, that is a fact. Many people feel the same way. And I became judged in 1989 with an UN court justice that I need to be compensated and get back my owning. Because I became a victim of transplantation experiments when I was a little child, I became judged. You cannot imagine, but it's really true. Some things happen in wealthy countries, and you cannot imagine that they are true, but they are really true. The poverty of the minds people is not imaginable, but true. So we have that enormous wealth that we can judge here, or that we have for some egoism reasons a building like that, because it is not reachable. Justice is not reachable, and you cannot imagine the ignorance and the egoism and was landed this way. The court and politics are do redemption against Holocaust justice, and ignore and much more against people who are in right, and this is unforgivable. And I started to claim because of many things, and all I needed to bear is, of course, very traumatic, and at first it is just a feeling that you are not right and that you are not fine, and finally, yeah, I could really give some proofs and claim. And the problem is, even when people can claim in a modern world and come by its own to a lawyer, to justice, and claim you are uncorrupted and you are disappointed because of a system which is holding up a national socialistic standard to provide benefits to Nazi descendants and negate a right for everybody else, and that is really hard. So I claimed last year because I could rent a flat in my own house. So in 1989 I became justice that the wealth of my relatives' first degree and my decimized family's first degree, because I'm a single case in the world that I have more than one family, because I'm a victim of transplantation experiments. This is really ugly because I grew up in a German family which was recovered to be my family, so it was not a really family. And for this I should be always each month compensated, but I'm not. And all the things they gave to me in UN Justice 1989 are not given to me. In fact, they deny my rights, not only one right, each right. I do not get compensation for my personal problems, for my offendings I need to bear, for my past, that I don't have a true family. So that is really hard. And even the trash, the things, the things are not given to me. And I need to discuss with a generation which is already younger than me about Holocaust denying. They deny the Holocaust, and I need to bring to them facts which are widely spoiled and thrown away. And it is really disgusting because I already had a big judgment. I already suffered a judgment, and all the things I am through. I am another judgment is only for the egoism, the circumstance of egoism of Germans who who disrespect UN court and deny that they deny the right situation. And this is really very disgusting. So you saw the big building where they have enough place for their work, but the work they give to the people is very poor quality. They have a paper and everything will be done, but the sense of the judgments is really poor quality. I sent to them some proofs that the circumstance is having a reason on the house, because the house had been built by Nazis like Diekmann, who had afforded money on a hidden account of the former society economy or society transoriental trading company. And this enterprise was cancelled after Second World War, but they had a hidden account and they brought the money after Holocaust crimes to Germany. I was affected by the circumstance that Nazis were living in free and were traveling between South America and Germany, and I became attacked by old Nazis, and I became a victim of transplantation crime. Nor with my two parents or any relation. And I started to give that a very good paid employers of the court some proofs about that history that Germans from Nürnberg were going abroad, for example, to India to do experiments on Zyklon B. And that it is a fact that Germans, Nazis, were going abroad and doing crimes abroad too. I needed to start from that point to this kind of very egoistic people from a generation who is spoiling the world. And this is really disgusting when you need to claim on such hard matters and you need to start from a point which is almost 80 years ago, and you only become feedback like that you are an idiot, that you are not in right, that nothing like that ever happened, and so on. So I claimed on a tricky reason, but I really rented a flat in a house which became 1989 and a bit later really my own. And on corruption, it became the house of Nazi descendants. And this is what kind of people need to do in that big building. And the quality is really poor we can receive. And next to the big building is a memorial center, and that cannot really be true, but it's true. And this is a fact what happens here in Germany too. And people who are from Germany describe it completely topsy-turvy, and they ignore the situation of others, and they spend and they spoil others' wealth or owning. Yes, I had owning, and all my owning had been given to Nazi descendants, and that cannot be. I even do not I do not get Holocaust compensation. I do not get compensation that I had a UN judgment which is given to me all that. And that is so disgusting. And for me it is the biggest crime ever and unforgivable that you can come out of a crime for being a victim, and you can go to a lawyer, you can rescue yourself, and you go to the German branches for justice, and what do you receive is a denying of rights, denying of the situation, and they deny all that too, and give themselves a right to be in right, but breaking the law. And I think it is so disgusting that even Germany would deserve an international punishment or anything, because they break a Holocaust peace we all joined since 1945, and they spoil on others. So we have so many broken places in Germany and abroad. It is enough, but they live a selfish life, and they feel like the sun, like egoism, like the sun, like the whole universe, and within they would be the center, and feel okay to steal from others the houses and give it to Nazi descendants. It is really disgusting, and the quality of renting a flat is getting so ugly you cannot imagine. And even the rights in that cases, they spleen on the people, of course, of the foreigners. And for example, that roaming and occupying data in Germany is not really treated fair. And this is approximately in so many flats the case, that Germans occupy the data of the renting people, and even that is a reason enough to claim, but it all collapses on the courts which deny everything, They only work on cases with Holocaust descendants in equality. So when two Holocaust descendants claim to each other, they are judged with equality. And all other people are receiving a bad, so worse quality you cannot imagine. It is a very difficult and very scientific question or work the judgment could have done in my case, but I only get a two-stanza proposal with a very ordinary answer and very rude behavior, and of course National Socialistic treats in the judgment. And because I'm so in right, I don't know if you can be more in right. It is a circumstance like you cannot imagine, like a dying pig eating a pumpkin under emergency table where I don't know, Hitler is getting his second brain to avoid most intelligent youngster in the world. It is really so disgusting that you cannot imagine, because I really was tortured so hard and had such a hard destiny that I need to grow up here in a fake family after being like kidnapped and brought to Germany and become a victim of transplantation abuse by old Nazis which had been here in free. And this is really so disgusting. And another approach they do to me, for example, is that I need to live on a lie. So since I'm a little child, I'm forced to live on a lie that I cannot tell my fellows from my childhood where I'm from, how old I am. Nothing is true. And when I talk, it is a comparison to my ID card, for example. And even until I'm 18 years old, from my ID card, I'm always in distinguishing, thinking what is my right on my true age, or even telling a friend who you are, how you feel. All these things they do like it would be nothing, and deny, giving no compensation and no end, and going on. And cases like mine are one time like dust, like dirt. They come to the dustbin, and the next can come. They spoil to have a wealthy life. And this is what they do in their fantastic big building. And I don't know. I think it is the smallest. What others pretend like it would be better to leave Germany. It is more difficult. It is so hard that the circumstance that Germans cannot live without foreigners. They cannot have a healthy society without foreigners or with refugees, and that it is not acceptable that they rule their own in their offices and branches of government, because they do disgusting and National Socialistic work when they are alone. As more they are alone, the more disgusting it will be. And this is, yeah, of course, I think enough. And you can imagine so that a bit help from abroad is really wanted in Germany, because it is not only it is a nightmare disgusting. So bye.